In the name and on behalf of Senate, I have the privilege to present for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Jane McCarry and Mark Cox. Chancellor, 2022 marks 50 years of drama and performing arts teaching at Queen Margaret University. And as such, it is fitting today that we honour two of our most well-known alumni. Jane was brought up in the Kings Park area of Glasgow. After finishing school, she performed in several shows at the Glasgow Arts Centre, as well as completing a one-year drama course at Clydebank College. Jane then set her sights on studying at Queen Margaret College, as it was then, completing her diploma in acting in 1992 and returning in 1999 to complete her degree before moving on to undertake teacher training at Jordan Hill College. This further qualification allowed her to build an additional career as a drama teacher alongside her acting work. Having taught in several schools, Jane has shown the same passion for drama and performance in the classroom as she has on stage and screen, inspiring children and young people to explore the opportunity that drama provides for us to explore ourselves, our communities, and to create and share stories that excite, inspire, and move us. Jane finds seeing the curtain rise in a performance by her pupils just as exciting as stepping out onto the stage herself. In her role as a teacher, Jane's passion and enthusiasm has engendered a love of theatre in numerous young people, which they will carry with them throughout their life. Not long after leaving Queen Margaret, Jane was already making her name for herself as a comic performer, ensuring she would stand out at the comedy unit auditions by dressing up and taking ridiculous props with her, including her friend's granny's big pants. This led to a role in the BBC comedy series Pulp Video that would become the first in a long line of memorable comedy characters, including parts in Ramsay Nesbitt and Chewin the Fat. Jane is also well known for children's TV work, taking a lead role in the BBC Two and CBeebies hit programme Me Too, starring as the middle-aged childminder Granny Murray. In 2007, Jane won Best Television Actress at the Scottish BAFTAs. Mark grew up in the East End of Glasgow. He fell in love with the performing arts through attending youth theatre and being an usher at the Tron. Mark wanted to become an actor, but he was encouraged to pursue a trade, and he found himself as an apprentice plumber after he left school. However, his determination to follow his passion never dimmed, and he would give up plumbing to pursue the opportunity to study at Queen Margaret College, graduating with a diploma in acting in 1993. Mark has described the acting course at Queen Margaret as learning a real trade, and it is a trade he has continued to pursue successfully ever since. During his career, Mark has had parts in much-loved TV series, including Shetland, Rebus, Outlander, Scots Squad, and many more. With a particular gift for comedy, he has played numerous roles in Scottish sketch show Chewin the Fat, which ran between 1999 and 2005. However, Mark's contribution to the performing arts has not only been on screen. He is the regular writer-director of the annual Brunton Theatre pantomime that delights countless families year after year, and which will no doubt have introduced numerous children to the magic of theatre. Along with Jane, he is also an entrepreneur. Together, they have set up their own business, hosting corporate events, which has seen them hosting Burns suppers as far afield as the British Embassy Garden in Abu Dhabi. Committed to supporting the next generation of performers, Mark has also contributed to teaching on the acting programme at one of our partner institutions, New College Lanarkshire. However, Jane and Mark are perhaps best known for their long-standing roles in Still Game. Tam, the bonnet-wearing, tight-fisted old miser who enjoys nothing better than scrounging off his friends, and the nosy, gossiping busybody, Isa Drennan, who just simply wants someone to hod the lift. Still Game was first aired in 2002 and was enjoyed by loyal fans over 9 series and 62 episodes, with the final episode airing in 2019. The series has been recognised with multiple awards from BAFTA Scotland, the Scottish Comedy Awards, the Rose d'Or, and many more. As well as the TV show, the series became a phenomenal hit as a stage show at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow. It had a run of 21 shows for Still Game Live in 2014, 15 shows in 2017 for Still Game Live 2, and 8 shows for Still Game The Final Farewell in 2019. Each show played to a sellout audience of 13,000 people. That's 6.5 times as many people who are present at today's graduation. This means that over the course of 5 years, 500,000 people got to experience the delight of seeing Isa and Tam live and in person. Bringing characters to life is what actors do, but to create a character who transcends the confines of their scripts to the extent that the audiences not only want to meet them in real life, but can imagine the lives that these characters are living when they are not on our screens, is a rare and special talent. Jane and Mark have created what can only be described as national cultural treasures, who have filled living rooms across the length and breadth of Scotland with laughter and joy. In so doing, they have made a significant and memorable contribution to the cultural life of Scotland and embody Queen Margaret's commitment to supporting and celebrating the performing arts. Chancellor, I have much pleasure in inviting you to confer upon Jane McCarry and Mark Cox the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
And get back up again.
Sit down and get back up again. Right, okay, well, I'll start then, Mother. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Court, Senate, graduates and guests.
Well, batter on, that's...
No, you go now.
No, you go.
Dr. Isa, please.
Oh. Well, I won't be an Isa. I'll try and keep it brief.
That'll be a first.
Oh my! Look at this, eh? Oh, here now, this is better than the hydro. We've got the young team. Oh, it's a wonderful turn of events, eh, Tam?
Oh, tell you what, I couldn't believe my luck. Never put my horn in my pocket all day. Free lunch, the lot. Absolutely wonderful.
Oh, now, honestly, we are so excited to be here. I cannot tell you. Mark and I met back in 1990 at drama school. And it was so exciting. We were just two weegies coming to Edinburgh. It was so exciting, Aldrich. And obviously it was different then because we stayed in the Kirstorfen campus, so it was absolutely beautiful. It was up in the hill and had ancient trees and a heavily subsidised bar, and but no, it was really, really beautiful, and we've got such great memories. We talk of it often, don't we? And you've been lucky enough to work together so many times over the years, but we genuinely say maybe weekly that we've just had the best times. We've had a great experience, and it's not always been that we've done all different jobs and there's been great highs and great lows, but we've gone to some smashing parties, I'll tell you that for nothing. There's been times when we've been totally skint, but we wouldn't regret not a single minute of it. We've performed, where was it, in Thurso in a shed? 3 folk turned up and a man brought his dog. Me and him driving an old Corpy van we'd borrowed, and then we ended up in the hydro. So you never know your luck.
Absolutely, and it's been fortunate enough to pursue a career in something that you really love is not everybody's experience in life. You know, we're fortunate to be able to do that. The downside of that is having to tell your hard East End Glaswegian father that you're giving up your apprenticeship to become an actor. He says, that'll be right. What he actually says was, I reject this idea with enormous conviction. And I will say that to you, people will reject your ideas with enormous conviction. You know, I had to push for that because that's what I wanted to do. You know, and eventually I did it, and it worked out, and everybody was happy, including my father. You know, the friendships we made with other students And the relationships we had with the teaching staff at QM gave us, after 3 years, the best tools to take into, which is quite a tough industry. Jane talked about other jobs we had to do, you know, restaurants, bar work, things that you all have to do. These are all part of life. And we were told that acting is life, and it's true. We met characters in their jobs. Jane worked in a sexual health chat line.
£14 an hour it was.
£14 an hour.
Smashing.
Which was smashing. No, but fantastic staff, and things that we learned, you know, from Lynn Baines and Andy Mackey are two names that I would like to say. They started when I started at the drama school. She was an American from the, you know, Stanislavski School of Acting. You know, it was hard, and it was quite unfair at times, but in fact it was, you learned a lot, and that was the reason for going there, and it was absolutely sensational what we learned, what we took out.
And two people for me that really stood out were Clive Perry, who he worked at Pitlochry Festival Theatre. He ran that theatre and he ran the course. So that gave us so much information and help about the real world. And I think that was a great thing about QM. They did blend real life and being at uni. So it wasn't just that you were stuck in a wee bubble. Somebody was coming out from the outside who was saying this is what's happening in reality. And that is very, very rare in any drama school. So I think that was we were especially lucky to have him. And I have to mention Bert Bracewell, who was a fencing teacher. And I was rid rotten, I was useless, but he believed in every single person. He believed that if you worked hard enough, you could do anything. And his classes, he would take us outside and we would roll down the hills, and he was just a phenomenal man with wee twinkly eyes, wasn't he, Mark? And when you have a teacher like that who believes in everyone and is so good to the bone, it makes such a difference when you leave uni or college, as it was when we were there. But Mark and I both feel as well, we're so genuinely honoured and touched that we've been given this award. We just wish our wee mums and dads were here to see it, because that would have been really special. My dad wouldn't have believed it. But it's wonderful. And, you know, the support we've had from friends and family. My friend Aileen's here today, and it was her granny's knickers that I used to steal for auditions. But she's been a support to me doing my punishment exercises. Well, for 50 years she's been there. She used to run me through to Queen Margaret from Glasgow on a Monday, because I always missed the train, and I'd be greeting, going, Aileen, please, will you take me? So she's been a wonderful friend, and my amazing boys are here, and my partner, and just, that makes all the difference if you've got a good support network.
Absolutely, it is. It's a great honour to be here. We both loved our time at QM, and also I'd like to mention my family, Annabelle, my boy Joseph, here today, and Joseph's 12 and he kind of wonders all 3 years what I do. We'd be in Silverburn Shopping Centre as he's grown up, and say, can I get a photograph? And he'd be like, what is this? So there must be 1,000 photographs of him standing in a stranger's picture, you know. My brother Henry, I'd like to mention, he was, thankfully, as I left drama college, he had just moved into Edinburgh. And when you're an actor, leaving the college, that's fantastic. So, you know, he always believed in me, apart from the times when I was asking him for more money. I mean, I clearly remember him saying, I don't believe you. But I'd like to thank him for accommodating me, quite literally. But it's been fantastic and sensational, and this is the start of your journey. And it is just the start of your journey, you know. I know it's a very, very well used, be kind. We hear that a lot now, but within our industry, it goes a million miles. Be yourself, be kind, be generous, you know. These are very, very important things, and whatever you're going to do. But we'd like to thank you again for having us.
To thank you and to wish all of you huge congratulations and the very, very best of luck. And as Prue said, whatever you start off doing, that doesn't mean that's the destination. You can go any different direction that you want. Do as much as you can, experience as much as you can.
Yes, experience as much. Stay out of prison. That's anything else. Don't get caught. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy your